Trevor J, 40% alcohol, the album. We here.
We here, bro.
How you feeling, man?
Bro, how the fuck are you, man?
I'm good. I'm great, man. We in nature and shit.
We've been here for 3 days.
Yep.
We've been relaxed as shit,
Making music.
making music, having good vibes, eating good food.
Great food.
Bro,
Taking pictures.
it's been wild, man.
It's been amazing. I love nature. I know he loves nature. So we just been relaxing. But hey, man.
I know you guys can't see, but behind the camera we got trees and everything. There's like just a beautiful landscape right now.
Yeah. Shout out Space Mandela.
Shout out,
This is his cottage.
big shout out Space Mandela.
Thank you for inviting us.
That's the homie right there.
So let's talk about the album, bro.
Let's talk about
Man,
this, man.
this guy, how long you been working on the album for?
Working on this shit for roughly 2 years. A long 2 years. It was like super stressful.
2 years. Think about that.
2, bro. 2. But I mean, along the way it was just like I really just had to tap into different energies, and
What do you mean by that?
like there were certain points in times where I would stress myself out by saying, "Oh, I don't want to drop it," or "Oh, it's not ready," or "Oh, I don't think this is a good body of work anymore." And then after I had to like stop and I had to be like, "Wait. This is something, this is a self-expression of a point in time, and it's like I really want this to fully feel like I am capturing that point in time to the fullest capability or to my fullest potential." So yeah, it's just like I took the time that I needed. I took a lot of time. I took some break periods. I stopped working on the music. I started going out, hanging out with homies and whatnot. And then we just ended up, well, I just ended up saying, okay, I think it's ready. I think the world is ready to hear this.
I feel like what you said about going out and shit, I feel like as an artist, though, you kind of need, I say this a lot, but you need to go out and consume to be able to create to your maximum capabilities.
Definitely.
That makes sense.
Definitely.
You know, you got to
100%.
consume, you got to go out and you got to be outside, you got to meet new people, discover new things.
Big facts, bro.
Have new experiences, make new memories, and then you can create to your full capabilities.
I would say like most of finishing the album, because the majority of the album, I mean, like when this drops, the album's gonna be out. So
Yep.
the majority of 40%, I could finally talk about it, bro. I don't think you understand how good it feels to like be able to talk about it on a podcast and say everything about all the tracks,
Bro.
say the track list and shit.
This guy, every time I'm with him, he retells me the story of the album, bro. About how he's been working on it for 2 years and what went into every track and how he felt when he was recording every different song. And I've been hearing this, and I
Yeah.
love hearing it every time. It's like the first time I hear it every single time. But I get how that could be fucking exciting for you to just talk about it with the world, man.
Bro, it's the first, like, it's not the first time you hearing it, but it's the first time y'all are hearing it.
Yep.
So it's just like, yes. Okay, so I suppose I'll start with the beginning. Like, the majority of 40%, so the first track, Journey, Free My Mind. Sorry. Yeah. Free My Mind is I don't even know my own track list. Journey, Free My Mind, Bliss, Stuck, which was the single, but there's an album version,
Extended version.
which you guys know now.
Go a bit closer to the mic, by the way.
My bad.
It's all good.
I'm gonna bring it down here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Journey. Ooh.
It's good like that.
Okay, so Journey, Free My Mind, Bliss, Stuck, Pour Up, and what's after Pour Up? Something Into Nothing.
Take You for a Ride. Did you say that already?
Not Take You for a Ride, because that one was done later. But those first couple of songs up until Take You for a Ride, or right before Take You for a Ride, so ending at Something Into Nothing, all of those tracks were done like 2021, right after
Crazy.
New Year's, bro.
It's crazy that you could still fuck with those songs so much to put them on an album. Because I like them a lot.
Yeah.
But as an artist, where it's your own songs, you've been listening to them for
Bro.
almost 2 years now. That's insane.
One song that actually almost didn't make the album, which is hilarious because it's the single, Stuck. I almost didn't want to put that on the album because I was like, this is super dope and this is super tight, but I feel like the moment for the song is past. And I
Yeah.
often find that happens with a lot of my music. Like, I'll feel like, oh, this, like, I made this at a point in time and it sounded super good for that time that I made it. But now that I've passed that time, it's like, oh, I don't think this is worthy of being
Yeah,
put out
because you've been
anymore.
listening to it for so long.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
yeah, those first couple of songs, it's like the explanation that I always give is so Journey and Free My Mind, those first two tracks were made in 2020, summer 2020, when COVID first hit, right? We were
Crazy.
inside,
That's 2 years ago, man.
yo,
Over 2 years ago.
we were inside, nobody was doing nothing. I was just playing, I was playing Fortnite, I was on the party chat with the guys, and there was just one day I woke up super early, and I was just like, yo, I feel like creating some shit, some different shit. So I started off with that arpeggiated synth
Wait, for what song is this?
for Journey, the
Okay.
intro. So I started
Yeah.
off with that,
Fades in.
and I just made this whole big synth progression because that inspiration comes from like listening to Dead Mouse and Daft
Oh
Punk
yeah.
as a kid. You know, like I fucking love that techno shit. So I started working on that, and then right after I made a beat that it transitioned into, and the idea was always for before there were names, Journey and Free My Mind to transition into each other. I made it to where the BPMs were the same and the key was the same, but I always wanted it to be where like they transitioned into each other. I just didn't have a body of music that I could make it fit to, right? So
Yep.
then after I did that intro shit and it was just beats. And then after I started working on the lyrics for Free My Mind in 2020, I recorded that Take You on a Journey, So Many Places to Find, Need to Rewind, or Losing My Mind. I don't remember the lyrics, but I started with that in 2020 and I did the hook for it and then I just let it sit and I did nothing with it for like a
That's
year actually.
wild, man.
And only when I got to, I think it was last year, so 2021, 2021 March, I think, yeah. In March of 2021, that's when I was like, oh, you know what? What if I took this intro and first track and just put it on the album? Like
Yep.
I already have the intro and the first track laid out.
And they feel well together.
You know, like it's super cinematic. I feel like it's a perfect place to start.
But wait, on Journey,
Yeah.
did you already have the vocals on them?
No,
On it?
that came much later.
Because
So
y'all gotta listen to Journey to understand like why I'm asking this.
yo,
Because
like
Journey,
there's a whole
is
backstory to like just the way how the I'll explain it.
yeah.
So it's like Duckworth on Damn by Kendrick Lamar. The last song, at the end of the song, uh, he does a whole rewind thing where the song rewinds and it goes through some of the songs on the album and then it ends back up at the start of the album. So then when you go back and you listen to the first track on the album, seamless replay, right?
Yep.
So I fell in love with that idea and I was like, I want to do that, but opposite. So on Journey, I did all the hooks except for All Along because when I recorded it, All Along wasn't conceived yet, right?
Yeah.
So
Didn't exist.
I did Free My Mind, Take a Sip, Something Into Nothing, Pour Up, Stuck, Bliss, Free My Mind.
The whole track list.
Yeah, basically the whole track list.
Except for the last song.
It took me a minute to figure it out. It's difficult. I got to go through the lyrics in my head and shit, but
It's a crazy song though, Journey, because you hear all those hooks and then
after it drops on you, like the last hook is Free My Mind.
Because the way it starts is it's the hook of the last song. So by the end of the song Journey, you hear Free My Mind, whatever,
and then after
and then it
brings
goes
you
into Free My Mind. So it's a really cool
Yeah, man.
transition.
That
and
that
I appreciate
idea
that a lot.
that idea was like something that it was just one day I just woke up because when I explain it, it sounds like it was thought through.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I heard the Kendrick Lamar thing, so I wanted to do this, but it was just an in the moment thing. I was just like, let me record these hooks.
Yeah.
So I started recording the hooks and I started with Free My Mind, and then after I was like, let me do it backwards. So then the last hook that I say goes into the first track. And you know, like when I'm in that creative space, it's just like nothing else gets in the way and I'm just able to let out,
Yeah, man, this guy's got a crazy work ethic.
bro.
Oh, real quick, since you said that about your creativity, y'all know I've never done this before of talking about an album for an artist. You know, I've done podcasts and I've done vlogs and all that, but I've never done just a conversation talking about, you know, one artist's album because, you know, as an engineer, I work with so many different people and all that. And I don't mix his songs. I don't master his songs or nothing. The only thing I did on the album was record the violin.
Big
That's it.
facts.
I didn't play the violin. I just
Shout
recorded
out.
it. Shout out Sophie.
Shout out Ace on the
Shout,
track.
shout out
Shout out
Ace on the
Sophie.
track. But the reason I wanted to do this video is because I've said it to many different people. This guy is a creative genius, and just such a inspiration to me, I feel like. And just the type of music he makes, I really enjoy listening to, and I really enjoy him talking about his music. It motivates me, it inspires me, and it makes me think of so many different things. So this is why I want to do the video, so that not only I can feel good about, how do I say this, not only I can experience you talking about the album in such depth. I want everyone to experience this, right? Everyone watching this video to really see how cool this album is. Let alone listen to it, but just
Dive
go into his
it.
head. Yeah, dive into it. Go into his head when he's talking about the album, and just really
Make
listen
your
to
way
his
into
thoughts
my
and shit.
mind.
Exactly. Like free your mind and go into his mind.
Exactly.
So continue. I just wanted to say that real quick because this dude is a creative genius,
Bro,
and
big
y'all gotta
respect,
get on.
This
the
guy's
Trevor
always
J
calling
wave.
me a genius.
I really am.
The way how I be like,
And I don't be calling nobody a genius.
bro, the
really
way
don't.
how I be like sitting sometimes and just be stuck in my thoughts, I don't be feeling like a genius.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you for that, because it's like, I don't think I'll ever build myself up to call I don't think I'll ever build up to call myself a genius.
If you
just
call yourself a
because-
genius, you're not a genius.
Exactly. But it's just like, I know the difficulties that I go through to create the music, and I know like the things that go on
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes. So that title doesn't feel deserving. But then after, it's like, I make a project and I play it for you, and then you call me this, and then
But it's
after
not only because of the
project.
It's not only because of the songs you play me. It's the way you talk about them, the way I see you work, your thoughts about all this shit. That's what to me makes you a creative genius. It's not because you play me a song and I like it. I like a lot of songs.
Word.
I like a lot of artists, but the way he talks about his shit is crazy. But anyways, real quick. Also, we're wearing the same hat.
Yo,
Shout out Grammy.
shout out Grammy. Yo,
Shout
that's
out
a nice
Grammy.
hat you got on there,
Yeah,
bro.
that's a nice hat you got too, bro.
Yo, big respect, man.
That's
Jeez.
a nice hat, bro. But
Jeez.
let's continue the talk about. Did you
conversation.
finish talking about Journey?
Yeah, basically, like
Okay.
the whole thing with Journey is just like, I just really wanted to set the tone for you, because the album itself is a mental health awareness. I title it I brand it as a mental health awareness / substance abuse album.
40%.
Even though like I never really dove into substance abuse the way that like some people would. It's like I saw myself starting a pattern, right?
Yeah.
And like I was able to break that pattern and create amazing music from it. But had I not had music in my life, that pattern would have created a cycle that would lead me to a place,
Deep down.
I don't even know where the fuck I was
There's a
headed
wasp
to.
on my shoe.
Cheese. Shout out nature, real quick. Shout out nature.
But yeah, shout out nature. But see, that's everyone has their own experiences about substance abuse or people around them dealing with that, and not everyone has the outlet to talk about it and write all their thoughts down and turn it into art. And it's really cool that you could do that and be comfortable with talking about all that.
Big respect. I mean, like my main motivation and my main intention behind going into the album was like, I want to make an album that, cause, sorry, there's so many thoughts going through
I
my
know.
head, but it's like I want to make an album where it's like I could listen to it and it can answer questions for me and I can enjoy it, but other people can also listen to it and make connections. I mean, that's all that music is really when you break it down to its
Yeah.
rawest form. But it's like I wanted to make an album where it's like other people can listen to it, and for at least people in my age group or people around me, I know that they also like, when shit gets hard or when shit gets tough, you most of the time at this point in life you like turn to substances to sort of
Yeah,
get away
it's a
from
very
reality.
common thing.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I started working on the album and I figured out the concept of 40% alcohol, which name mental, like a lot of people told me, I don't think that's a good name for the album, but I was like, nah, like the album itself is talking about, there's a lot of talk about alcohol. There's the whole, throughout making every single song, except for All Along, which is the last track with Nico Drade. Shout out, that's the little homie right there. That's my fucking guy. But
Shout out Nico.
what's it called? Every single track on the album, when I was creating it, whether it was the beat, whether it was the recording session, it was like I was always sipping on something.
Yeah.
every single session, because at that point in time, that's all I could really do. There was a lot of emotions going on inside of me, and I couldn't navigate my way through those emotions without, having some form of inebriation or altered state. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like that's really the intention behind the album, and then you dive into each song, and each song experience. Each song is an experience of a different emotion. So it's like sometimes the emotions get intertwined, because when you're in those states, like, think about it, when you're intoxicated, you don't really have control over your emotions. At some points, like, it's like, oh, I'm super fucking happy, I'm amped up, like, let's go do some shit. And then after other times, it's like, I'm sad,
Just down.
or
Yeah.
I don't want to do
You're
shit.
either up or down.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like when you're listening to the album, there's a lot of those different emotions. There's a lot of reoccurring themes of whether it be like alcohol, the same alcohol getting mentioned. I drank a lot of Hennessy at that point in time. That's
Shout out
why,
Hennessy, man. I love
bro,
Hennessy.
I be name dropping Hennessy so many
I
times
gotta
on
tell you
the
something
album.
actually
What's
after. I
good?
forgot to tell you. I'm gonna tell you after the video.
Okay, word. But yeah, like, I'm just name dropping Hennessy at so many points.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reoccurring themes of peace of mind.
Iced tea with the Hennessy.
You know,
I was actually gonna ask you that. I thought about it the other day. I was gonna ask you in the video, like, what's up with that? Like, such a
Bro,
reoccurring theme, Hennessy.
so it's like iced tea.
Not just the
forever.
iced tea, but Hennessy in general. But
Hennessy in general, bro, that was the drink.
Yeah.
You know, like when
Well,
in
yeah.
2020 and 2021, like, I was posted up with Timar. Shout out Timar. We were just chilling. I was just drinking Hennessy all the time. You know.
yeah,
I got this limited edition gold bottle of Hennessy. It's still in the crib
Yep.
on the top. You know, like, it's like that's what we were drinking.
the thing
you
about
know?
Hennessy is that, like, you can go get rum, you can get any cheap cognac, but Hennessy, to me, I don't taste, right? So to me, it's about the feeling with different alcohols, and Hennessy just makes me feel good
You
all
know,
the time, man.
like, you're gonna go out, you're gonna get a drink. What? You're gonna get like a I don't know, fucking gin and tonic, bro.
Hell no.
You're gonna get a rum and coke, or
Hell
you're gonna
no.
get a Hennessy,
You
bro.
know, on your birthday when I got you those 2 shots of Hennessy,
Yeah.
those were free. She never charged me. I don't know why. Maybe she was too busy, or because I said it was your birthday, but she never charged me.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But yeah, go get some. While you're watching this, go get some Hennessy
Go
real
get
quick.
some Hennessy.
You either make
Drink
it Hennessy and Coke or
responsibly,
just
and if
sip
you're
it.
under the age, please don't indulge in that. You know, like,
You could. It's not. We can't force them to do shit.
we can't force them to do shit, but just be mindful. You know,
Yeah,
be
be
mindful of what
mindful.
you're getting yourself into, because it's like
Yeah.
as amazing as it was creating this album and drinking and being able to express myself through intoxication. It's also like I saw myself resorting to that often. Like,
Yeah.
I would eat lunch and I'd drink a beer, you know, or I'd go out and it's like I couldn't do anything, or I couldn't function if I didn't have a drink.
I've definitely been there, man.
You know
It's
what
not
I'm
good.
saying? And now to be able to post up, and it's like, I remember the other day I was chilling, and one of the homies offered me something to drink, and I was like, nah, I'm good. And they're like, you're good? What do you mean you're good? Like, you're the guy that's drinking, you know,
That's
40%
lame, man.
coming soon. And I was like, bro, you know, like, I'm just trying to cool it right now. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to relax, take in the energies, and just be myself as much as possible. I'll still indulge in a drink, no
Yeah.
doubt.
While we're here, we're relaxing at the cottage.
Exactly.
have
I'll indulge in a
have
beer.
Some rum and
You
Coke,
know?
have some vodka this, vodka that.
But it's
No
it-
Hennessy though.
I just realized that there's so much more than just that, and
Yeah.
making this album allowed me to see that it's like, for the longest time, my biggest fear was finishing the album, because if I finish the album, like, what's next? And that was another thing that stopped me throughout the way, where it was like I didn't want to work on it anymore, because I had this feeling that it's like, okay, I finished the album,
Yeah.
and then there's nothing more.
You
to
didn't
work
want it
on.
to be out, right?
It's not even wanting it to be out. I didn't want it to be done.
Yeah.
I didn't want that feeling to be over. But at a certain point, you just got to come to terms with yourself. And it's like, this is also something very prominent in my life, where it's like the feeling of, say, because the album is the whole thing behind the album is that I was in a relationship. The relationship ended hella rocky, and that led me to going in a downhill path. And then that's when the alcohol consumption started and whatnot. And that's why I created the album. But even something as simple as not wanting to finish the album because I didn't want that feeling to end, that also relates to not wanting to stop talking to a person because you're so obsessed with the feeling
Yeah.
that they may make you feel, right? So I saw a lot of similarities working on this album that I had within life, you know?
Some crazy thoughts,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? And I hope that like some people listening to it, they can see that too, because it's like even the song stuck. I remember when I played it for JT, and it was like he heard it and he's like, yo, this shit is crazy. I'm like, yeah, but wait, hold up, let me let you read the lyrics. And then he read the lyrics, and then he was like, whoa.
That's the thing. Let me say something real quick. The thing about his songs is that it's very, there's a lot of effects going on. It's very psychedelic, almost, comparable to like ASAP Rocky, Travis Scott, Kanye West, and some alternative stuff, and just very psychedelic and trippy and like a cool vibe like that. But the lyrics too is like the hooks are so catchy and melodic and psychedelic, but then you listen to his verses and it's so lyrical. Like you make so many different connections and your lyrics are just really really good.
The idea is always like with this album, the idea was always to have it where it's like the hooks are what draw you in.
Yeah.
Like think of it, literally think of this whole album as an experience, going out one night, going to a bar, going to a club, and drinking, right? So the hooks are supposed to draw you in, like somebody saying, yo, let's get something to drink. And then you drink, right? And then you get to the verse, and the verse is like, now you're there, and now you're in those thoughts.
Yeah.
And like as much as like you're out and you're having fun and stuff, now thoughts are running through your head. So
Yep.
the verses
And you're paying
all
attention to them.
exactly. So like the verses are always going into like, what are those thoughts that are going on in my head while I'm in this state? Or it's like night done, you're back in the crib, it's 3 a.m. You're not tired, but you're lazy and you're slumped, you're schmizzy, you're trying to go to sleep,
Yeah.
So
Schmizzy.
it's like, what are those thoughts that are going through your head at that moment? Like for example, the verse on Bliss. Yeah, okay, I sip. Don't talk right now, I'm bliss. I got somebody saw the sun and I gliss. Why you mad? You taking the piss. Baby don't like when I talk my shit, but if I don't talk, how am I to get rich? It's like I'll let you go and listen to the track, but it's like those thoughts are what's going through my head at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like I want to just talk my shit in this blissful state
Yep.
without having to worry about what's going on in the world or what's going on social media or what's going on with next people. I'm just trying to talk my shit right now. And same thing on Stuck, going back to what I was talking about with JT. It's like he read the lyrics and it's like, whoa, like Stuck is the turning point of the album where it goes from drinking to feel better into drinking to forget or drinking to feel less pain.
Yeah.
So because like I remember that the night that I made Stuck, I think it was May 5th, 2021.
Okay.
I had work the next morning. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I recorded the hook. By the time I finished, it was 4:20 something, and I had to dip my crib at 5 because I had work at 7, and it was like, yeah, those were some tough times. I was going
Definitely.
through a lot. Work was stressing me out.
Yo, this guy, all he does is fucking work, sleep, work on music, fucking.
Right,
No,
like
not sleep. My bad. Work on music, fucking eat, work on music, work.
sleep,
It's crazy, man.
all that shit.
Yo, hold the fuck up. Stop the press right now. Yo, you listen to me, motherfuckers. Whatever you doing right now, put it down. Take a second. You go and stream this motherfucker's album
Stream the
right here.
album.
40%, okay? We go cry to it. We gonna heal to it. We gonna make love to it. We gonna start a revolution to it. Let's go. Don't play yourself.
Shout out
Shout
Space
out
Mandela.
Spaceman Mandela. Space Mandela.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for that.
Came through.
Stream
we
the
up there.
fucking album, man.
Stream the album, bro.
Stream the album. And yo, okay.
That was actually so well timed, bro.
I had a feeling. I was waiting at the door.
That was actually perfect.
Yo, Stuck is the 5th song, right?
For all they know,
Oh,
that wasn't even planned,
yeah.
or was it?
Or was it? Who knows, bro?
Who
That
knows?
was fucked. I mean, I don't remember shit.
But,
But Stuck is the 5th song, right?
Stuck Journey.
Let me
You know what? Let's
Let
go
me
check.
tell you right now.
I'm gonna go check because I listen to this album every day, but I promise you, I forget the lyrics, I forget the
I'll get
order,
there
I
before
forget
you do, I
everything, bro.
promise.
Nah, you won't. You very much won't.
All right, Stuck is
This guy
1,
got
2,
there
3,
before me.
4. Stuck is the 4th song.
That's mental. Stuck is the 4th song on the
Yeah.
album, and it's like every time I listen to the album myself, I always know as soon as I hear like those first 4 keys on Stuck. Actually, I think it's 3. Yeah, those first their synth hits, and it's like I hear that and it's like, okay, this is the turning point. And then when you listen to the album version of Stuck, there's the whole outro section where it's like now you're literally in that state of being intoxicated and the night is done, but you have no idea what the hell is going on, and you're just walking and you can't walk straight and you feel like you're on a roller coaster. Like that's that turning point. That's that feeling that I really wanted to capture through music. And then,
It's exactly how it feels.
and then after it goes into Pour Up, which we're talking about um now we're talking about like, well, Pour Up itself. So the hook is about the a reality of what it is to live the life of an artist. So like it's always like the uppers and the downers. So pour up, black out, smoke up, tap out, pull up, cash out,
Up and
blow
down,
up,
like a
max
roller
out.
coaster.
So like just up and downs. And then you go into the verse sections, and now it's like I'm talking about personal things. So like things that are going on in my life regarding friends, family, not connecting with family enough. Working on this album, I stopped talking to a lot of the fam at a lot of points in
It's
time.
a sacrifice.
And I was just like, I was working on the music every day. I was going over to homies' cribs every day. I was going to the studio every day, doing everything possible to really try and like get the music done.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I had trouble writing that verse because I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't know how to execute it. And then one day I was at work, and I'm just like walking through the hospital, and I'm just like, pour me up. I was sipping. Haven't spoken to the fam in a minute. I'm in it to win it. The ones that I fuck with the most caught the division, And I just went on, and it's like whenever one thing that I found with this album is whenever I started writing the verses, it always poured out of me. Like the time that I wouldn't write anything for a minute, and then the moment that like I got the first couple of lyrics for the verse down, it would just pour out of me. It was just like
Fuck.
just getting all of that energy out. But yeah, you get to Pour Up, and then there's the violin break, which that was super spontaneous as well. One day
Yo,
I'm
the
just
violin
posted.
is crazy, bro.
One day I was just posted up. I was like, I want live violin on my album. Like I feel like there's not and I mean I want to dive more into using live instruments and
Yeah.
acoustic instruments on projects, but it's like I was like I feel like a sound you don't hear on albums or you don't hear on tracks often, or at least I didn't hear on some tracks coming out of Montreal, is like you don't really be hearing like live violin. Like okay, you can MIDI that shit, and I've done it before,
Doesn't
but
sound
I
the
was
same.
like I want the emotion of somebody playing it. And shout out Sophie, she did an absolutely phenomenal job.
Real shit.
it's
But
not-
yeah, shout out Sophie, man. She really killed that violin because,
bro,
like you were saying about the difference between like a live instrument and like MIDI, bro. So I can't really put it into words.
it's the emotion, bro.
Yeah.
It's all the emotion behind
And
it.
it's the little, the little sounds, like a guitar.
You're not gonna get perfection every single
Yeah, exactly.
time.
And that's
There's
what makes it so much
imperfections,
better.
and that's what makes it feel like you get that emotion that it's like, oh, okay, this is somebody playing this, somebody pouring out emotions into it. And it's like, even beforehand, I had a conversation with her. I explained to her like the different topics that were going on in the album and the different emotions that were going on in that track specifically. And I feel like she was able to capture those emotions perfectly when it came to playing that section. And even in terms of that section just being pianos and violin, for a long time I contemplated, am I going to put vocals over this? Am I going to put little sounds in the background of conversations over this? And I just decided to keep it dry because it's like, I feel like even the vocals, so like singing on a song or rapping on a song, that's an instrument. And everything on a track is an instrument, but each instrument has to talk. And when I was making that decision of leaving it dry, just violin and keys, it's like the violin has to talk. If it's going to be talking, it's going to be the only thing talking at that moment. I don't want anything to clash with it.
Yeah.
I just want you to hear it and like internalize all of the emotion that was going on at that moment. And then Sophie comes back in on the second verse with doing back vocals, and it like perfectly complements, bro. Again,
Blends so well.
another spontaneous idea that just came out. It was just like, I would really appreciate it if you could back me up on these vocals here to intensify that verse that comes after the violin, because
Yeah.
I was having these feelings like, okay, so we do the violin, and then there's a verse that comes after, but how are we going to match the energy with the verse that comes after the violin? gotta get back vocals on it, you know.
And her voice sounds really good with yours.
Yo, bro, not even that is like the layers that we did. We did, I think, maybe, I can't give you an exact number, but near 10 layers
Okay.
of back vocals
Each?
that were for her,
Oh,
not for
okay.
me, just for her, that were stacked on top of each other. So then after, you could really get like the full effect of what I was trying to bring out
The raw
for
shit,
that
man.
second verse. And then yeah, after that, it goes into something into nothing.
Wait, real quick, I just want to say,
Yeah,
I'm very happy that I had at least something to do with this album
bro.
because I love it so much, and just the fact that I was just able to record the violin, that's all I needed. Because I met him like a week before that. I met him at a party.
Bro, go check the credits on the album right now. Okay? You will see don't know how to pronounce your last name and I don't want to fuck it up, but you will see him in the credits. And I
Yeah.
feel like, bro, that's just shit like that is so important.
And I appreciate, like, yo, you gotta put your fucking people in your credits, man. Even if they give you one lyric on a song to say, put them in your credits, bro.
Bro, you
Like,
know
why
me-
not? They're your homies, right? They're your coworkers or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. But
Everybody got
this
to get
guy, I met
credited.
him. I met him September 20 something at a party. Shout out Bahai. And then a week or two later, he hits me up. And he's like, "Yo, I need to come to the studio record a violin with this girl Sophie." And I was like, "Bet." And the energy that was in the studio that day, man. I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of sessions where the energy is just pure vibes, good vibes, and I really enjoyed that session.
Nah, the
Um,
energy's always got to be right, you know.
yeah,
Like,
with you, yo, with this guy, it really is. With Sophie, it really is, and that's why I like working with him.
cause
I
think
like
about
working
it,
with
like,
Sophie.
think about it when you're working on a track, depending on the track, of course. But it's like when you're working on something and
To
it's
nothing.
like there's a lot of emotion that's going into it. The energy in the room has to match the emotion that you're about to put in,
Hell
or
yeah.
at least if it doesn't match, the energy in the room has to be clean.
Hell
you
yeah.
know? So it's like that's always something that's gonna be a number one for me. That's a big reason why like I work from home as opposed to going out, and like I learned how to do everything because I realized that if I went somewhere like there's a lot of studios in this city, and there's a lot of amazing studios in this city. Ace on the Track. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So
Pull up,
it's
man.
like
DM me.
there's a lot of proper studios in the city, but some of the studios that I was going to at the time, I just felt like I was going there, and it's like I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I was able to fully express myself
Especially
in a way.
if you're always trying out different new engineers.
Exactly.
You're not
you know?
getting the pure good vibes, the good chemistry. You need good chemistry.
And even like doing weird stuff on tracks. Like
Yeah.
there's some back vocals on this album, bro.
Yeah.
If you just solo out the back vocals, it's just like
Raw as fuck, no effects on
you
them.
have no idea
Yeah.
the amount of goofy shit that I did on this album. But that's an aspect of who Trevor J is. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
There's a lot of different aspects, but that's one of the aspects. Anyways, getting back to the music, because I don't want to stray too far off. I know we could go
can
into
talk
some
for
next shit,
hours, man.
but getting back to the music, it's like, okay, so we spoke about Journey, we spoke about Bliss, of just like getting into that, like Bliss is about the first half. There's two parts of Bliss. There's the first part where I'm talking about like just being in that state of being free and not necessarily caring about things going on in the world and drinking. And then after, there's that second half where the person that I'm trying to get away from, or the thoughts that I'm trying to get away from, finally break through, and it's like, ah shit, here we go again. So it's like now we're going into the thoughts, and it's like, can't you see you fucking up my energy, you vexing me? It's like that's what's going on there. So that's Bliss in a nutshell.
Oh
There's-
wait, bring the mic closer again. My bad.
that's Bliss in a nutshell. I could dive into it more, but it's like I feel like that's something that I'll write a whole PowerPoint presentation
For
and
Bliss?
Yeah,
Yeah, the story's fucked for that.
I'll drop it online and I'll let y'all read that. But and even I try to explain. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna do this after the album drops, but every week, like when I do my Wednesdays with Trace,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about the album and I'm gonna give explanation behind things. I'm gonna ask people, oh yo, after listening to the album, what's something that like you'd want to know about? And I'm gonna try and like connect with the people on that. And hopefully you guys want to connect with me on that, because like, you know, that's the whole reason I make music. So, or my motto is, music is better when we feel the same together. So it's like, if you listen to a track and it's like you want to have a deeper understanding of what something means, feel free. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Come on to IG when I do my Wednesdays with Trey. Come ask me questions. Like, Ask me, yo, what did you mean when you said ba 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 on ba 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 at this specific moment? And I'll tell you. And there's a wasp, and there's a wasp, and there's a
We're
wasp,
good. We're good. Just
and there's
don't
an
piss it
ant.
off.
And we in nature.
Nature's blessed.
We in
Nature's
nature,
bliss.
bro. But it's like nature is bliss. But it's like, so yeah, that's bliss. Then we spoke about stuck and all the different ideas and all the different thoughts that were going on. We spoke about uh, pour up. Now we're on something into nothing. Something into nothing. That's a crazy one, because the guitar, there's a guitar melody on that, and I remember making that guitar melody. And as a child, my mom, love her. My mom, she always used to play
Shout out Trey's
Coldplay.
mom.
Shout out, shout out, shout out, Mama Trey. Shout out, Mama Trey. So she always used to play music for me when I was a kid, and when I would go to sleep. So she would play classical music, a lot of Beethoven, a lot of Mozart, but she also played Coldplay, and that influenced a certain sound that I feel like a lot of the piano, a lot of the keys on the album, a lot of the guitar riffs on the album,
Was
all done
inspired by
on
that.
MIDI, was inspired by sounds that I used to hear as a child, so
Youth.
youth, bro.
Youth.
But it's like something into nothing. The guitar melody, I let it go at the end. I let it just play out the song because I wanted you to really like listen to it and feel the emotion in that guitar melody. And something into nothing, talking lyrics now, it's like sometimes I often find myself when I get intoxicated in a peer or in a place of repetition. So it's like this repeating cycle of questions that just always constantly get asked but don't have answers. So I'm just looping, right? So that's
Yeah.
the whole idea with something into nothing, with the hook going, when I'm off the drink, I don't feel nothing. It feels a whole lot better than something. Something that could turn back into nothing. So lately I've been steady sipping something. It's just like the two themes of something and nothing chasing each other.
And they can mean like it's just two words, but they can mean a lot of
You
different
know,
things.
depending on how
nothing.
you order it, what order you put it in, it's just these two ideas that just revolve around each other with no end. So
Dope.
that was the idea of something into nothing. And then you go into the verse section, and I wanted the vocals to sound like they're chasing each other, and it's like
Yeah.
phasing in and out. And I did some an alternative mixing technique, but it's like I wanted it to feel like uneasy, almost unsettling, but still comfortable and still soothing.
Oh, that's the thing, by the way. He mixed his whole album, man.
Bro.
Like he like
Produced every single beat, me. Every single lyric, me, of course. Mixing, me. Shout out Hardbody Jones for additional mixing and mastering. But even artwork, like
all him,
I just
all the promotional artwork, the cover art for
and
the album, everything.
I don't want to sound boastful when I say all this, because I will say, like, as much as okay, yes, I did everything. It's also where it's like I drove myself crazy. That's why it took 2 years.
But you got
Because,
beautiful art from that.
bro, love-hate relationship with music. I always, whenever people ask me, yo, you in a relationship? I'll be like, yeah. They'll be like, oh, damn, like, how long? Like, what's her name? And I'll be like, oh, it's been since I was born, really, and her name is music.
I think you said the same shit on the podcast we did.
I probably did.
But yeah,
I be saying that shit all the time because it's like I'm in a relationship with music,
yeah,
bro.
man. We all
Sometimes
are.
I love her, sometimes I hate her, but she always there when I need her.
But she makes us crazy.
You know? She makes us
She
go
makes me
crazy.
crazy at least.
She made me go crazy on this shit,
But
but
she makes me happy.
she does. She does. She's so beautiful.
There's nobody or nothing that can make me like.
I want to
truly
call
as
her up right
happy
now.
as music.
You know what I'm saying?
Ask her, you up?
Oh my god. You know what I'm saying, bro? But yeah, that's something into nothing. I don't want to talk too much because I often do, and I know that this the point of this is for there to be a conversation and to talk about these things so people
Give them a
can
little
hear about it.
backstory, but also.
But
let
I
them
also
listen
want you
for
to go and listen.
themselves.
Exactly. I want them to go and listen for themselves and like create your own ideas and your own thoughts and concepts and meanings behind what something might mean, because that's the whole point of it. Like everything is subjective, everything is open for interpretation.
Mhm.
So as
I
much
like
as
that.
I have my own interpretation of the album and my own feelings towards it, it's like if I just fed that on to people, then the idea or the concept of music is better when we feel the same together wouldn't really mean anything. Like the whole point is for you to go and listen to it and create your own attachments and your own connections and your own ideas behind the album, you know?
It's like in school when your teacher, the whole class has to read a book, and then you have to write like journals about the book and
Yeah.
all this shit. It's like, how do you feel about it? Like, what are your thoughts? What did you take from the book?
Essentially, it's an art, you know?
It is art. Yeah.
It's abstract art, even though music is not necessarily abstract, because at the end of the day, it's like it all comes down to the
Patterns
same
and-
thing. There's
yeah.
patterns, there's
Rhythm,
rhythms, there's different vocal techniques and
chord
different flows.
progressions.
But it's like I really like to consider my music abstract art in the sense where it's like I'll play the same song for 4 different people and all 4 of them will say something different.
Yes,
you
that's
know?
what I love about music, man.
Or I'll play a beat for 4 different people and they'll be like, oh, like I hear this on it, or I hear this kind of flow.
Man, you could play a
or-
10-second melody for 4 different people, and they'll all tell you some shit
You
different.
know what I'm saying? And if I strip down the whole album to removing the drums, keeping the 808, keeping the melodies, and removing the vocals, completely different feeling.
Whole different story.
I did that once. Like when I was in the process of making it, before I had everything complete, I just stripped everything and just let it be melodies. And I was
That's dope.
like,
I want to hear that.
bro, that shit is insane. One thing that I want to do, that I'm going to try and set up, is doing a live acoustic version of the album, where I just get some homies, some instruments, just a mic, my voice, auto-tune pedal. Of course, I use auto-tune like an instrument.
Yes, and it sounds good.
You know what I'm saying? And just like vibe the fuck out. That's something that I want to try and do. But yo, I think we should take a paused intermission and let some vibes play, and then we'll come back maybe in a different scene.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
Yeah, real quick. Though I do want to ask you, I know this is gonna be a hard question, but what's your favorite song on the album?
I don't have one. I've come to terms with
Lame.
myself. All the songs on the album are favorite songs, and I say this. I think if you ask any artist this about their own body of music, like they'll be indifferent towards it, or they'll feel like they don't have an answer. But the reason why I say I don't have a favorite song is because right now, at this specific moment, I'd say my favorite song is Free My Mind, right? But then I go and I listen to the album, and I'm like, fuck, I love all of these
Yeah.
songs, because all of them are at different periods in time, and they're also different emotions. So like it's tapping into different aspects of my personality, and that's why I can't say I don't have a favorite song on the album. Right now, the reason why Free My Mind is my favorite track right now is because that's where I am right now, where like I'm out here in nature. I'm trying to get peace of mind. I'm trying to dial back from the music a little bit and get more into just like
Life?
self-actualization and realizing who I am,
Yeah.
and going out and having interactions with people and just like
Yep.
cooling it, you know? But, you know, who knows, like maybe a month from now or a couple, ooh, that's a big ass spider.
Big
Maybe
ass spider.
a month from now or a couple weeks from now, you know, something might happen to me and I might enter like a downer period in life, and Stuck might become my favorite song off the album, or there'll be a lot of stupidity around me and Bliss will become my favorite song on the album.
I feel that.
You
That's
know?
a good answer.
So like there's no true favorite song, because it all depends on where my mental state is at that particular moment in time.
I like that. You know what my favorite song is, right?
Of course, FaceTime.
FaceTime. I love that song, man.
FaceTime. And that song was actually, that's another one of the songs that was not supposed to make the album,
Oh, yeah?
because that song doesn't really relate to the ongoing theme in the album. It sonically relates, meaning like the instruments that I used and the patterns and whatnot. But the song itself, where did she go? Oh, there she is. The song
This guy's
itself.
assuming the spider's gender and shit.
My bad. You know, just nature is beautiful. Mother Nature created it.
Facts.
So it's like, what was I talking about? FaceTime?
Yeah. How it almost didn't
FaceTime,
make
it
the
wasn't
album.
supposed to make the album, because it's like FaceTime is more so on the, so if the album is talking about my experience through having a rough relationship and how I went about internalizing it and dealing with it, FaceTime talks about me now like realizing that I can be the person that I would love to be in a relationship. I can get back into that life. So it's more of a realization song, and it's like I'm ready to go back into that world of being emotional and being intimate,
Okay.
as opposed to it going into a theme with the other songs of drinking to suppress feelings, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why it's like that was supposed to be the last song and the album's done. That's why at the end of FaceTime, there's the whole switch up where like it goes into the chopped and screwed version of the track, because that's how the album was gonna end. But then I was like, nah, we can't end it like that. I gotta end it on a high note. So that's where All Along came in, and even the sound of All Along, like using drums, live drums, or rather not live drums, they're programmed, but they're programmed live drums, and just having a completely different feel. That inspiration came from Coffee Bean off of Astroworld, where it's the last track on
I'm
the
already
album.
a black dude.
You know? Oh, that's a B. That's a B. Is she gone?
Yeah, she's gone. Well, no, she's not.
She chilling
Coffee
though.
Bean is a very nice song though.
You
And
know?
I love FaceTime.
But it's
so
like
I guess it
it's
works out.
how are you gonna end off, like you gotta end on a note, or for me at least, I gotta end on a note where it's like I'm not giving you what you've just been listening to for the past couple of minutes, but I'm using elements from it to make you understand that it's like this is the end, but it's not over.
See what I'm fucking talking about, man? The way he talks about his little baby, the album, like what the fuck? See what I'm
Yo,
talking
go
about?
stream 40%, bro.
I hope they have the same thoughts running through their heads as I do, or at least similar thoughts when
Go
you
stream
speak
40%.
about music.
You hear me talking, you hear Ace talking. Go stream 40%, bro.
For real. So we'll have a little intermission.
Yeah,
We're gonna film the rest of this back in the city.
yeah.
Cause we gotta go.
Different scene. We gotta get out of here. It's been a beautiful 3 days.
Maybe
Once
we'll wear
again,
the same outfits though. We'll see.
perhaps, might come back on the same shit. But shout out Spaceman for the cottage. Beautiful 3 days. Shout out
Amazing.
everybody that made this album possible. I'm gonna give flowers right now. Shout out Ace. Shout out Sophie. Shout out Nico. Shout out Hardbody. Shout out Spaceman. Shout out 47. Shout out Timar. Shout out my family. Like every single person in my
Yeah,
family.
his dad's involved, bro.
Shout out, and I'm probably forgetting some names, but shout out the homies, the OG high school homies. You know who you are. Shout out Giordano. That's my guy. Shout out everybody, like all these guys made this shit possible, and it's like without the experiences and the interactions that I've had in life, it wouldn't be possible. And I think that's where I wanna you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways.
We'll cut it and we'll be back. But hey, take this as a lesson to appreciate the people around you, man.
Yep.
Whether you see it or not, they help you
Yep.
in a lot of different ways.
And during this break,
That's the timer too.
yo, perfect time. Anyways, enjoy these
Wait,
tunes.
during this break, what?
Yeah, during this break,
Oh, okay.
enjoy these tunes. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Toodles.
Take me on a journey, so many places to find. You rewind, losing, feed my mind. So I can feel away, I'm drowning in this place. Smoke all around me, I sip to reminisce. Stars on the ceiling, I'm drowning in bliss. Pull me up, cause I feel like I've been stuck. I've been drowning in my thoughts so much, don't feel like waking up. I say what's up, yeah, just get me lit. I pour another drink, then I take another sip. So please, pour up, black out, smoke up, tap out, pull up, cash out, blow up. When I'm off the drink, I don't feel nothing. It feels a whole lot better than something that can turn back into nothing. So steady. Take a sip, then we go. I I got 300. I need to let go. Be worried about them, but they on their own. I keep it 100. Then pour me some more. She free on my mind, I don't abuse. No, that's some shit I couldn't do. All alone, I'm caught up in someone else's demise. We're living's harder than dying, and taking some time away is nothing more than a lie. Said.
We're back.
What's up? Y'all good?
It's been a minute.
Nice little intermission. Hope y'all enjoyed the album. We played a
Yeah.
little bit of the album there.
Just a little bit, you know, just to give you a little flavor of what's to come,
Yep.
or rather, what is already here, because it's already out.
Yep.
Go get 40% Alcoprol right now, please.
Cop that. Cop it on iTunes, yo. If you really support this man, cop it on iTunes.
Cop it on
Don't
iTunes.
just add it to your playlist, whatever. Buy it on iTunes. Should be what, 99 cents, $1.29, whatever.
Bro, 99 cents.
Shit.
You know, I know that the struggle is real out here. I mean, if I had to go buy an album on iTunes, I wouldn't want to buy it for like $5.
Exactly.
You know, like who?
Y'all get the chance to buy like a real creative genius's music for 99 cents and own it forever.
I did not say anything there, and I'm not gonna say anything there. Anyways, so I think to jump back on track, we were last talking about, or we just got into something into nothing, and we were talking about like just some of the shit that was going on that. And to touch on that super quick, it's like something into nothing for me was a track that like revolved around two ideas, two themes. I think I started talking about this, and it's like those two themes are like something and nothing, you know. I went in to talk about the hook, talked about, oh, we got a fly in here, talked about like just those two themes, something and nothing, and how they chase each other in that hook. And then after the verse goes deeper in and talks about like, yeah, I did speak about this.
I know.
I'm
That's
just
what I'm
jogging
saying.
my memory right now. I know.
It's all good,
I know
though.
for you guys it was like 2 seconds and then we're back, but it's been a whole week.
Yeah, we're all
you know?
confused, man.
Like life happened for a nice amount of time, but we're back now. Anyways, one thing I want to talk about something into nothing though is the beat. That beat for me was like one of the funnest beats to make because
Why?
at the time there was so much drill. Like that was like
Oh,
I think that was
yeah.
at the point in time. That was like 2021 when RP Pop Smoke, but Pop Smoke was like doing his thing. Big Gaddy had just come out.
Actually, he died in 2020.
Word?
February 2020. But he was still getting really popular in 20. Like even after he died, he was still getting popular.
It was probably one of the post albums that he had dropped, but
because those were popular as fuck.
yeah.
Popular.
Like there was a bunch of Pop Smoke going on. There was a bunch of 5-Yo going on.
Yeah.
There like drill was just
Maybe
coming
K
up.
Fog wasn't even around that time actually.
I don't even
Lil
know.
TJ was doing drill.
Facts.
All the UK drill going on too.
Facts. Like,
Just a bunch of drill.
I don't even think, when did Central C pop off?
I think 2021.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know because I wasn't very big on those, but
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, now, you know, the whole, I don't even know the name of the song, and I don't even want to say the name of the song, but that's that really. But when I was doing the beat for Something Into Nothing, I really wanted to like, I was just having fun at first, and I was like, let me make a drill beat. And the way how it starts with the hi-hats, that was me literally trolling. I was like, I'm gonna make a drill beat. It's gonna start with the hi-hat roll, and it's gonna be a meme, bro. Like I'm gonna do.
Y'all heard Something Into Nothing by now, right? I hope. And that is this man's version of a drill beat. Isn't that crazy?
Bro, because like for me it was gonna be the whole album's theme is like ambient, very spatial, very very just psychedelic almost. I've never done psychedelics, but if I do take psychedelics or if I took psychedelics, I feel like that's what it would feel like.
We actually spoke about that on the podcast.
We did speak about
which
that.
is I'm glad you're still on that.
Bro,
like thinking about that.
But it's like that's just basically what it is. And when I made that beat, I was like, I want to make a drill inspired beat, but that sounds nothing like the drill that's out today. I want it to sound super melodic, super like you have no idea what is gonna happen next type thing. Because when the verse comes in, I basically strip the whole beat down. And it's only the 808, the guitar melody. I bring in a new piano melody and the synths in the background. And I strip it down. So you only get that drill feeling on the hooks.
Yeah.
You know, when the verse comes in, I don't want you to focus on, ooh, the beat is nice, let me hit my little 1-2s. It's like, no, listen to what I have to say, please. You know, because even that song itself, I think I spoke about this last time, the whole verse is misleading. But it's like only I really truly know that the meaning behind the verse. I've explained it to you, but people listening to it for the first time, they won't understand like that misleading tone in the verse of the song. I don't even want to touch on that because that's like something that's just on a personal level. It's like it's personal to myself. So I want the people to make their own interpretations of what the whole album can mean. That verse in specific.
Yeah, because music in general, you know, everybody forms their own opinion. Everyone hears it a different way. So, you know, that's a good intention to have, you know.
But one thing I want to talk about just real quick to end off something into nothing, that last 5 seconds in the song where like you just hear the guitar melody.
I don't remember that.
Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Go pause the video, go listen to something into nothing, and then come back. You're back? Oh my gosh, how are you? Like it's been so long. Anyways, that last little bit of the song where it's like it's just the guitar melody.
Yeah.
I really wanted to focus on that guitar melody because I don't remember for certain, but I'm pretty sure that guitar melody came to me in a dream.
Oh, for real?
Facts.
That's some crazy shit.
And that's like something that doesn't happen very often for me. But when it does happen, I'm always super appreciative of it.
That must be a great feeling.
Bro. And not only is it a great feeling to get a melody from a dream, but to wake up and remember it. And do it the exact way that I heard it in the dream.
That's some crazy shit.
That's when it's like, ugh.
Man, this dude is fucking crazy.
Ugh.
But
I've
never had that. I've had melodies come to my head, you know, when I'm trying to fall asleep. But that's a whole different, it's a whole different thing than
we can't escape the nature,
dream.
Bro.
I know, bro. That's what I was just about to say.
We can't escape the nature,
We're
bro.
actually recording in nature. Of course, there's going to be bugs and shit, you know, the spiders and all that.
Yeah.
Now we're in the city in a fucking, wherever we are.
In a beautiful
undisclosed
studio.
Location.
Undisclosed location. No, we got to drop it.
Shout out Creative Block.
Creative Block. Shout out my guy, Prance, because I love him and he trusted me to pull up and do this here. So shout out to him.
If you go on his Instagram, on Trevor's Instagram, most of the pictures you'll see are taken by Prance.
Yes,
and
sir.
He's a crazy photographer.
I feel like not in a tacky way, but we should do like a roll credits at the end. Or like crediting like everybody that was a part of like setting up and making shit happen.
Well, you guys will see if we did that or not.
You know, like
I think that's a
you
pretty
just
good
gotta
idea,
wait till the end. I swear, if you skip to the end just to see if there's credits, like we're gonna have serious problems. A lie, okay? But
yeah, shout out Creative Block though for letting us use their space.
Real shit.
Shout out Prance. But yeah, we can't escape the bugs, which is fucking crazy.
Cannot escape them, bro. Nature is everywhere.
Whatever, man.
You know, it's just resonating on a different vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking the truth always vibrates the fastest, man.
Yo.
Real shit. But what comes after something into nothing, bro?
After something into nothing is take you for a ride.
I love that title, by the way, bro. The way you spelled that shit, that's just crazy.
T4K3 YU
F4
AR1D3. Why did I do it like that? I have no fucking idea.
It's dope. It always has reminded me of New York Nights at 21. I don't know why.
I don't even know what
it's a Lil Uzi song. I don't know why the title reminds, because he spelled New York like N-U, York. Nights. I don't know.
But it's like, bro, just that was one of those things that it's like when I'm in the moment and I'm just titling something, I have a lot of very weird titles for beats. And I have a lot of titles for beats that just don't make sense. Like the beat sounds nothing like the title. But
which is fine. I do the same shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Jet ski and shit.
But it's like that title, when I came up with that title, I was very, as I previously stated, a lot of this album was inspired by Rodeo and inspired by Astro World. Just more so on like the feeling of like taking you on a roller coaster, if you will, or taking you on an adventure and taking you on a ride, and it's a roller coaster of emotions, right?
So you better hold on, man.
Facts. Like in Take You for a Ride, you even hear it at the end. I added that little dub in there, like please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicles at all times when on the ride. Enjoy your stay at thank you.
That's a dope little I don't even know what to call that.
Interlude.
Interlude in the song.
It's an interlude within an interlude.
Oh, because that song is an interlude?
That song is an interlude.
Okay.
But then after I did like a radio station break interlude
Dope.
in the
A
interlude.
break. That's a good word.
You know what I'm saying?
A
So
break.
like that idea came a week before I had to finalize everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like one
So
night
a
I was
month
just
ago?
chilling, and I remembered that little beat that I had made for the end, or the beat that you hear after the main like drum section and Take You for a Ride. I made that in 2017, I think,
Fuck.
and I saved it, forgot about it.
5 years ago, man.
And I'm just scrolling through shit, and then after I see that, and it's the name of the loop is called Little Loop for Boys and Girls. I don't know why I named it that. I just did.
Little loops for boys and girls?
Little Loop for the Boys and Girls.
Oh.
You know, it's like it's a little dance break loop, so like it sounds like
Yeah.
something that boys and girls,
Okay.
you know, like you could just groove to and shit. So that was the title of it, and when I was scrolling through my computer, I saw it there, and I was like, yo, I forgot about this, but this would actually perfectly fit because I didn't like the way that Take You for a Ride was just ending dry,
Yeah.
and then it went into Take a Sip. So I'm like, nah, I gotta spice it up. I gotta do something different
Man,
here.
that's crazy to me because I wasn't even making music back in 2017.
Mm.
So the fact that this dude is you still appreciate the music you made 5 years ago and you still have love for it, or at least some of the music you made 5 years ago, and you're still using it for an album coming out in 2022.
Bro,
That's crazy. Like,
there's
this
shit in
dude's
my
just good.
computer that I made when I first started, and I don't plan on touching those until I'm established.
What the fuck? When was this though? What years?
What, like when I was making these beats?
Yeah.
There's a beat in my computer called Bongos. And that beat, I remember when I made it, I was like, yo, this beat is so tight, but I cannot do anything on this until I've established myself. Like, there's beats that are literally marinating there, and they're staying there, and I'm not touching them until
Wow.
I get to that place where it's like, there's people that I want on those songs that I feel like would perfectly match those songs that, unfortunately,
Don't
not
have access
unfortunately,
to.
but I don't have the connection to them
Yeah.
now. You know, I don't have the resources to get to those people now, but I know one day I will.
Wild,
And
man.
when that time comes, they might not fuck with it, and that's gonna break my heart. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's just the intention. Sometimes I make things and it's like, no, this is perfect, but it's too early. It's too early to drop this. Like, there's one song that my dad will not get off of my case about, that a lot of my family won't get off of my case about. It's a song I made called Drippin'.
The one your mom made
Yeah.
you play for me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, his mom
And-
came into the room, she just started singing this song.
She just
She
started
made
singing the
him
song.
play that. We were playing COD.
Yep.
She made him go on his computer and play this song that
Which
he
I
made called
appreciate,
Drippin'. Yeah, your mom
because
has
it's
love
like,
for it.
They're
That's
loving
cool.
the music, but at the same time, it's like, I know they want me to drop that, but it's not
Yeah.
time yet.
Nah, that
And
was
I'll
cool.
know when it's time. I'll have the feeling in my gut.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's certain music that I make where it's like, it'll either be so amazing to me or it'll be so not amazing to me that I don't feel like the world is ready to hear that
Yeah.
yet. There's more that could be done or that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm a overthinker and a procrastinator and a perfectionist, so sometimes it gets the best of me, like this album, 2 years, you know, but there's some stuff that I truly believe can't drop this yet.
As long as you have the session files for it, man,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yo, man, I have bad dreams sometimes about my computer just getting destroyed. Oh
That's
my
what. Remember
gosh.
what I told you about 5 backups,
Yeah,
5 different what are they called? Hard drives.
Yeah.
5 different hard drives.
but I mean, like, it just
My
comes
bad.
to a point. Phone ringing, hotline blinging.
All right, let's wrap up the video.
But that came out of nowhere too. Like, that was just my brain. That was just my brain, just phone ringing, hotline blinging. I don't know.
You know when the hotline bling?
Yo,
Please don't copyright me.
Yeah. Don't copyright. Don't do that. But yeah, going back. So, Take You for a Ride is just that transition point. When I made it in my head, it's like this album is an emotional journey. It's a roller coaster, and that intro part on Take You for a Ride with the talking on it, that wasn't there initially, and I only
Okay.
added that in afterwards because I felt like it was too quiet. Like, I didn't just want to have a 8-bar intro with
Yeah.
nothing on it.
Just the melody.
I
or
wanted to
whatever.
put something there that it's like, you know, people are listening and it'll keep them there.
Yeah. Keep them
You know, just
Hooked.
keep them. Exactly.
hooked before the hook.
Hooked before the hook.
Yeah.
But Take You for a Ride was the transition point in the album to where it's like, think of it as a movie. Think of it as the main character in the movie hits that point where it's like everything is just going crazy, or like main fight scene, you're just like breakout fight in a bar, everybody's fighting each other, or even like you're running away from something, but you have no idea what it is. It's just something's chasing after you and you're running. So that's what Take You for a Ride is. It's that, like, I'm taking you for that ride.
Yeah.
This is the ride. This is the trip. You know, everything leading up until this moment was building up to this climactic point.
See, because you would think, looking at the title, it's like talking about taking a girl for a ride or some shit.
Yeah.
You're taking the listeners for a ride.
Yeah.
That's cool. I really, until now, I thought that was like taking a girl for a ride or whatever.
Yeah. But that's that, which
That's
I understand why you make that, because, you know, 2 songs later is FaceTime.
Yeah.
So we get there, but it's just like we're not there yet. Because after Take You for a Ride is Take a Sip. Take a Sip is one of those songs that,
Hey, man, don't drink and drive.
don't drink and drive, you know? I actually say in the interlude, I'm like,
Yo.
remember to keep in mind, folks, when listening to 40% Alk per vol, make sure you're not operating a moving vehicle, as it can get pretty tricky when under the influence.
Yeah.
It can get pretty tricky on the road when under the influence, which, by the way, that is me talking. It's a voice. It's Trelawney's Jefferson III. Shout out Spaceman for coming up with the name. I do want to do like some skits soon using that voice where it's like,
Hell yeah.
good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in to Trevor J and Ace on the Track.
It's like some radio voice, man. Like, wild shit.
Did you know that you could save up to 15% on your car insurance with
See what I'm talking about?
copyright claim?
Yo,
You know
you
what I'm
like
saying?
you could actually do that shit like just for like an extra bag, like
I really want
like
to.
radio
I
station.
really
Not
want
radio,
to.
like commercials.
Fuck the bag, bro. I just want to do it for
Yeah.
fun, but
But they
the
pay
bag
good money,
comes
though.
too. You know, the
Pay
bag
good
comes
money
too.
for that because I know if you make music for TV shows, you know, like little jingles and all that,
Yeah.
you get paid good money compared to the music industry. At least if you're starting out.
Which
So
is crazy.
yeah,
That
it is,
doesn't make
but-
no sense.
So like if you do a
But it does.
voiceover too, like that. You know, when I was a kid, all my mom wanted me to. Not all my mom, but my mom wanted me to be
One
a
of the
radio
things.
station host. Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things she wanted me to be a radio station host, and she still talks about it, which is
Bro.
crazy.
I mean, like, we're here.
We're here. Yeah.
You know what
When I
I'm
started the podcast, it was actually her idea to start the base.
That's what's up.
But she was so happy, bro. She was so happy.
And this is actually, I just wanted to say really quickly, because this is like the second time I took the vape. This is the first time I'm vaping on film in front of an audience.
Oh shit.
I don't like to do that because it's like, let's not talk about it, but long story short, yeah, I'm doing it. I don't care, you know. For this time, I don't care. Make sure the mic
There
is
you go,
good.
man.
1 2 1 2 mic check. Hello.
This guy's,
we are
guy's
back.
breaking his boundaries and shit. You know,
It is what
coming
it
out
is,
of his
man.
shell. So
I mean, the way that I like to see it is everybody has their drug. Everybody has their drug.
their vice.
Even
their vice. Say
their
vice. Say
fine.
vice.
Everybody has their vice, even if it's like dopamine, where you find comfort in getting that dopamine level from eating food or like from doing some shit that.
Getting an adrenaline rush by going cliff
Exactly.
jumping. Or,
But everybody has their vice, so there's nothing that's wrong with vices. It's just how you use it.
yeah.
You know, how you're productive while using
Yeah.
that vice.
Unless, you know, there's certain things that, you know, you shouldn't touch. Like,
yeah,
you know, the shit that, whatever.
we can't. We don't even have to get into it.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Shit that affects your health or your mental
Exactly.
health or whatever.
But
Yeah.
to go into take a sip.
Yup.
Take a sip. What a funny song. The name of the beat is H&M.
What?
The name of the beat for
Oh,
Take a
okay,
Sip
okay.
is called H&M.
Huh.
Why it's called H&M?
You were on a shopping spree that day?
I was not on a shopping spree. I was walking downtown with the homie, and we saw H&M, and I made this really just, you know, when we're together, we just act goofy. We say stupid shit. So I decided to say H&M. What that stand for? Hoes and misses. And we started dying of laughter for no reason. So I got home that night.
So that's the name of the beat.
Yeah.
Hoes and misses.
Hoes and misses, but not even in a disrespectful way. I just found that was funny, so that's what I titled.
He's
the
talking
beat.
about garden hose.
Exactly. Gardening is a really good vice, bro.
Yeah. Facts.
You got to get out in the garden from time to time, my dude.
Facts. My brother's girl just made me try some homegrown grapes. They were
That's what's up.
trash, but
Ah,
they just weren't picked. They were picked too early. Anyway,
jeez.
take a sip, man.
Yeah, man. Yo, we're talking about so much shit, but take a sip. Beats called H&M. When I first made that beat specifically took a lot of inspiration from Praise the Lord, A$AP Rocky,
Skepta.
specifically with the flutes, with the pan flutes. And then after, I just wanted to make a beat that was, no pun intended, grimy. Hey, that's a nice hat you got on there, bro.
Shout out
Shout out.
Grammy, man. Shout out Tom and Grammy.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Grammy, everyone there.
I got a different hat on today, but I'm not
Look
ready
at
to
his
talk.
hat,
I'm
bro.
not ready to talk to you guys about that. Just read it.
Look
but
at the hat.
I'm not ready to talk to you guys about that yet. Soon,
Oh, you
though.
should have put a dot. I thought there was a dot.
Uh,
A period. That would have been dope. You could always
new
add
things
it.
coming. New things coming.
Yeah,
but,
man. Until
But yeah, so I wanted to make a beat that just sounded like it was heavy in the bass and heavy in the kick, and it's just like sound system late at night. You're in the whip. You just want to just, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that was the approach behind the beat for Take a Sip. And then the hook, the vocals, I wanted to make a track that sounded like, or I wanted to make a track that the topic of conversation is like, at the time I had a lot of friends around me, but some of them started moving weird. So I had to like sort of adjust who was in my life.
Yeah.
And when I was writing the hook for that song, it was like, take a sip, then we go. I got 300, I need to let go. So like I got 300 peers, I got 300 friends, I got 300 acquaintances, whatever you want.
Oh,
I got 300, I need to let go.
Damn, bro.
You worried about them, but they on their own. I keep it 100, then pull me some more.
I thought you were talking about $300. I was like, damn, this guy needs some more money.
Nah, bro.
But now it's about friends. This guy needs less friends.
You know, I gotta
Damn,
let you
bro.
got. It comes to a point in life like, so basically in the order of things,
What?
take you for a ride. You go for that ride, and then you come to a realization that too many of the people around you are changing your energy, not for the better, for the worse. You know, and you just have to make that realization that it's like you don't need everybody. You don't need that 300 squatted group of people.
Facts.
You know, you just need 3. You know, or you need like that solid core where it's like, those are the people that you know you could go to for anything at any time. Even if you guys beef, it's like, nah, you know that you're solid with that core group of people. So that was my
Facts.
realization at the time. And I just put that into the music because that's just the story of my life. But that's the hook for Take a Sip. And then the verse goes into, which is a long verse. Technically, it's 2 verses, but
In
there's no
one?
hook in between.
Okay.
So it just goes from verse 1 to verse 2, and then last hook. You
Oh,
know what I'm
fuck. I
saying?
didn't even notice that.
But very weird arrangements on this
My
album. But yeah, basically,
That's cool. It's like abstract art, you know?
exactly.
It's cool.
But yeah, the verse goes in and it dives deeper into those thoughts of like not needing all of the people that I have around me. Which two of my favorite things on the beginning of that verse is, I seen a whole lot of, I always forget my lyric. I seen a whole lot of Wasi around me, for real. Just the fact that I used Wasi, I was listening to a lot of Drake at the time, so I was like, bro, let me put Wasi in a song for no reason. So I did that.
It goes hard, though, that line.
And then after the next line that I love after that is, I'm not the type to let Goo Goo Gaga in the way, man. That's just how I feel. Like,
What is that about? Babies?
like, so
Kids?
at the time, there was this person in my life that was just acting very childish,
Ah,
you know?
I see.
And when you're a child, or when you're an infant, a baby, if you will, what do babies say? Goo Goo Gaga.
Goo Goo Gaga. Yo, real quick, you want to do an impression of Emo Baby for the camera or not?
This is not an original, okay? I got this from a YouTube short, but
You don't have to do it.
this is an impression of an emo baby. Goo Goo Gaga.
I love that shit, man. I actually did that shit for my boy the other day.
Bro, it's so stupid, but
Anyway.
that's for y'all, okay? That's for y'all at home to enjoy. Anyway,
Fuck the childish people around you, man. Let go of them.
exactly. So that's why it's like, I'm not the type to let Goo Goo Gaga in the way, man. That's just how I feel. Gotta keep it real. If we ain't the same, then why you in your feels? And I chop it up. And it goes into this whole next shit. I don't even know how to describe it to you. It's just my brain doing what it does best. And yeah, Take a Sip is just a journey of realizing that there's too many people in your life. You gotta let go of some for the better. And then you just gotta
And-
pour
sorry.
up, you know? You just pour another one and just keep it 100.
Is this like a metaphor of like, you realize this by being like under the influence of alcohol, or
There was a lot of realizations
take a
during
sip,
that
right?
time when I was under the influence of alcohol, but it was also where, while not being under the influence of alcohol, I think those lights just died.
that's so tough.
It's tough.
Anyway,
let's not think about it. I was saying that all of that shit, like, it was being under the influence of friends and being under the influence of like different things, but it was also recognizing that while friends were, while certain people were drinking alcohol, they would act different as well, and the difference in their energy while or the difference in their energy from being sober to being drunk was like too much for me to handle.
Okay.
Like I couldn't handle just all of that energy at once, so I had to just remove some people out of my life because of that.
Damn.
Other reasons as well. There's some lines in that song where it's like, I'm definitely like aiming it towards specific individuals. I'm not gonna go and say who those individuals are, but it's like, music is my release. So if ever there's something going on in my life and I go to record a song that night, best believe it's gonna be coming out in that song one way or another. But yeah, that's Take a Sip, and then, Take a Sip perfectly transitions. I made a seamless transition from Take a Sip into FaceTime. We finally made it.
FaceTime is my favorite song, by the way. I love that song.
FaceTime.
Favorite song from the album.
I'm not sure if we mentioned this in the first half, but FaceTime was heavily inspired by 88 Glam. At that point in time, I was just listening to a lot of 88 Glam, and I was like, yo, I want to make something that like has that same feeling, but have my own spin, my own twist on it. So that's what I did with FaceTime. And FaceTime is it's just a song about, for a long time, this album was about a bad breakup and a very rough period in my life where like I had to learn how to be single again. I had to learn how to be my own person, and I had to learn how to love myself. So FaceTime is me achieving all of that, which at the time of making the song, I hadn't achieved it yet, but I knew that I one day would. Today's that day in the flesh. But yeah, FaceTime was like that song where it's like, I'm back now. Like, I'm cool. I could do this shit again. And it's me just expressing how it's like, okay, I'm ready to be emotional again. It's like, oh, I'm talking to this girl.
Yeah, it seems like it's like the beginning of like a new relationship or
Exactly.
whatever.
And if you want, creatively, you can even look at it where it's like the relationship that I'm getting into is a deeper connection with music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Through making the album, through dropping the music, I am now FaceTime with music. So that's that song. And
How's it go? She hit my line, I don't abuse.
She free up my mind, I don't abuse.
She free up my mind, I don't abuse.
Taking or interpolating the first track, Free My Mind.
Yeah.
No, that's some shit I couldn't do. If she hit my line, she coming through.
Yeah.
Hit me on that FaceTime, we don't Zoom.
Zoom.
There's a lot of Zoom classes going on in 2020.
Yeah,
and,
shout out Zoom, man.
Every time I had a meeting for work, we'd have to use Zoom or Microsoft Teams, but fuck both of them.
Imagine Zooming a girl, bro. She has an Android, so you gotta use Zoom.
Bro.
It's low-key helpful for Androids, but whatever.
Well, no, Androids have Hangouts.
But I'm saying Android and iPhone.
And iPhone
You
using
use
Zoom?
Hangout?
Bro, I've done that a couple of times.
Oh, shit. I never done
And that's why it's, hit me on that FaceTime, we don't Zoom.
I don't date bitches. I don't date girls with Androids. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. No hate towards Android because they do their thing, but
hate
it's
to
like,
Android. No, I'm playing.
it's like, just use I want regular emojis, bro. I don't
It's
want
like-
no weird looking emojis.
Lil Uzi made this comparison with the 10 things you can't live without, right? But he did it the opposite way. So I'm going to do it the opposite of his. So he said, I'd rather a Bic lighter because I don't want one of them crackhead lighters, with the see-through ones because they're trash, right? I don't want no iPhone. My bad. I want an iPhone. I don't want no Android because they're trash. I'd rather get the Bic. I'd rather get the iPhone, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's it. You only get the 2-piece. You
Wait,
get the rest of it later.
What are you counting?
Oh, you said 10 things you can't live without.
Oh, yeah. Nah.
But y'all only get the 2-piece. You want the rest, you don't have to tune in for the next one.
Actually, that was a good interview that I got. My Little Bites? I think we talked about this. Whatever. We'll talk about the album. I don't want to get too off track.
But
yeah.
Ace on the track gets off
track.
Jeez. Yo, that would be a crazy... Anyhow. But yeah, so... My brain's all over the place, but what was I talking about? FaceTime?
Yeah,
right?
FaceTime, and you were talking about how Zoom.
The
Yeah.
verse. I want to go into the verse now because the verse, like, it's a very intimate verse. You know, I don't think I was talking to anybody in particular at that time, but the verse was just, if there was a significant other in my life, this is just some things that I would say to that person. You know, so it's
Oh.
like, what's the status? She know how to work it. She know I gotta have it. 20K my salary that nanny do some damage. Still she ain't a challenge. I put that on my balance. I like the way she chop it with me. I'm not gonna say the rest though because that's not very appropriate for some audiences. If you want to listen to this song,
Go
by all
listen to the
means,
album.
indulge in it in yourself. But I'm just gonna keep it. PG over here.
Yep.
But yeah, FaceTime. You know, it's just me stepping back into that life of being intimate, of being emotional, of being able to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And since making that song, I've only improved at my ability of doing that with, of course, you know, knowing who to do it with and who not to do it with, because you can't be that way with everybody. But it's a journey, you know, it's a process. It's an experience. It's learning, you know. You learn through experiences. So that's all I can really say on that. And then the end of FaceTime, it goes into the chopped and screwed version where I slow it down and I bring down the tempo and the pitch, and it just switches up. And that happened because FaceTime was supposed to be the last song on the album. I think I mentioned that.
Many times. Many times.
And
Wait, to me or to the YouTube?
to both.
To me, many times.
But
I think with them, yeah.
I think I had mentioned it in the first half. Nonetheless, though,
Yeah.
FaceTime was supposed to be, that's it. It's done. That's the album. 9 songs. Cool. Nice. Ciao, Bella. See you next time. But I was like, nah, I can't end on that note because once again, as I said, big inspiration from Astroworld. So I loved how Astroworld ended off with Coffee Bean. Completely different vibe from the rest of the album, but it's still perfectly fit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta end this album off with something that sounds nothing like the rest of it, but still completely fits the vibe. And I had made this beat inspired by Tame Impala. I was listening to the Slow Rush album, and I just made a beat that was just very heavily inspired by some of that, of course, with my own twist, as always. And yeah, I was at work one day. That's a lie. I wasn't even at work. I made the beat and I came up with the vocal melody, but I didn't have the words for it. But I knew that it was like, I wanted it to be like all along. And I didn't know what the words were yet. And then I went to work one day and I was listening to the beat and it all came to me. As I said, it just flows out randomly at random points in time. So I'm just there and it's like, all along, it took so much time to realize I'm living another life. I'm caught up in someone else's demise where living's harder than dying and taking some time away is nothing more than a lie.
So did you wrote Nico's part?
That hook? So
Yeah.
I was gonna sing it myself, but I was like, I don't want to hear me. I'm hearing me too much on this album. I don't want to hear me anymore. And Nico, my guy, I love him, close collaborator, everything, but I was like, I want you to sing it. And at first he was hesitant because he was like, I don't know what this song is. I've never heard this beat. I don't know what these lyrics are. I don't know if this is going to be good for me. But then I played it for him and he was like, oh shit, I want to do this.
Shout out Nico, man.
So we spent a day, we recorded the hook, we got everything down, and it was like, yeah. This is definitely the direction that I want to go in for the last song. And that song takes so much inspiration from just a bunch of different things. It takes inspiration from Toby Lou. If you know Toby Lou, you up. It takes inspiration from Frank Ocean, kind of, but in my own personal way, it takes inspiration from Frank Ocean. It takes inspiration from a lot of things, and that last verse on All Along is my favorite verse because it took me, I think, 2 months to write it. It took me 2 months to write it because I knew I wanted it to be very emotional and very sentimental for myself and for those that know like the journey that it took me to make the album. But I also wanted it to be where it's like not barring out, but saying some shit to make you be like, whoa. And I really achieved that with the help of a lot of people around me at the time. One notable person is Space Mandela. He really we had a lot of long talks and he got through to me in a way where it's like I thought about life a little differently. and I was able to express myself the way that I wanted to on that last verse to really get everything out, everything that I needed to get out. Um, Go listen to the song.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy song.
Just go listen to the song.
It's probably my top 3 or top 4 on the album.
Even all the Me Too, by the way, but I also can't say that because I love the whole album.
Yeah.
But anyways, so when I was making that song, like I was like, I don't want this song to sound like the rest of the album. Even the little vocal things where it's like, yo, listen, I'm with the fam, quit pressing me. Random idea that came to me when I was writing that verse. And then the sleep through the day, work through the night, sleep through the day, work through the night. It's crazy because my dad made me aware of this. The line before that, not enough time given in this life. I really don't know my lyrics, bro. There's so many, and especially since I'm working on new shit right now, like I just forget everything, but hold up.
But it's a very good song, though. Y'all should go listen. Well, I mean, you should go listen to the album as a whole anyway. But All Along is special, too. Oh, by the way, I don't think we mentioned this, but if you're going to listen, when you listen to the album, definitely try to listen to it from the first song to the last song all at once. And don't, like, skip or whatever, you know.
Don't do it.
And don't go to, like, from the first song to the fourth song to the seventh to the second. Like, just listen to it in order.
If you play the album from Journey and click shuffle...
Just don't do that.
Is problems.
Yeah.
I will find you. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not sending out any threats. I'm just going to find you, and I'm going to say, why? Why would you do this?
Just don't.
I put it in that order for a reason. Listen to it in that order. You know, like, there's a little thing. I'm going to put out a little note for you guys to read on my Instagram, but it's like, everything has its place for a reason, and there's Easter eggs throughout the album where there's callbacks to different things. I'm not sure if I mentioned some of them in the first half. I'm not sure if I even mentioned some of them in the past couple of minutes, but it's like there's a lot of Easter eggs in this album. But coming back to All Along, that's how it was for a long time. So much time given in this life, too focused on yin and yang, black and white. I tripled what was left just to make it right. Sleep through the day, work through the night. Sleep through the day, work through the night. Sleep through the day, work through the night. My nigga, I'm working till I see the light. When I played that for my dad, he's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, why? He's like, you said I tripled what was left just to make it right. And then I tripled sleep through the day, work through the night just to make it right by saying I'm working till I see the light. And I was like, whoa.
That's hard.
Whoa.
Make connections without even realizing.
But it wasn't done intentionally. It was just like, that's what I felt like writing. That's how I felt like approaching it. So that's what I did.
That's hard. And the black and white, day, night.
Yeah. There's a lot of, hold up. I got mentioned in a story. Shout out, Nico. There's a lot of, like, there's just so much going on in the verse that yin and yang, black and white. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Too much pressure to drop the music that I write that it drove me to dropping people in my life. Facts.
So you gotta pay attention, man. Like
Facts. Can I get a fact? Facts.
You gotta listen to that shit, man. Really take all the lyrics in. Cause this is what I was saying the last time we were shooting this video. Is like, you'll get attached and you'll get hooked by all the, the melodic parts of the album. The psychedelic parts of the album, the trippy parts, and just all the effects and all that, and the drums, but also his lyrics are just cool, and not cool, but they're cool, but they're also just very, if you listen and you listen well, you'll see a lot of connections and you'll see a lot of real shit. You'll hear a lot of real shit, and that's why, just try to hear, when you listen to the album, try to listen to every different part. Try to listen to the hi-hats, the kick and the 808 differently, and the melodies differently, and then his vocals differently, like just all as a whole but separate at the same time, and you'll notice a lot of different shit going on.
There's two conversations happening throughout the whole album. There's the conversations within the beat, and then the conversations within the vocals.
So if you separate those two while listening, you'll get a whole different experience listening to the album. Real shit. And that's with any song. That's not just his album, that's just any song in general. You'll get two different experiences, the producer's view and the artist's view. And in this case, it's the same person, but it's still two different things.
It's two different things. Because, like, when I'm writing a song, my brain is in a different place as opposed to when I'm making a beat. When I'm making a beat, I'm just trying to express whatever emotions are inside of me at that moment in time without words, which is difficult because it's like, how can you express an emotion without words through sounds? And I don't even know how to
And just the vibe you're
Exactly.
going that's
I
going
don't
on in
even
your
know how to
head.
properly communicate that to you with words, but it's like when I'm writing, it's like, okay, one word after the other, I have a limited amount of time to get the full message across. How do I do this? So sometimes it'll be, I'll write something, then I'll go back, change it. Then I'll write it again, then I'll go back to what I had before and bring that back in. Like, it's just a whole process. Any writer will tell you this. Even with the song All Along, originally there was no trap drums. There was no, or for the lack of a better term, trap drums. But there was no 808s, there was no hi-hats, there was none of that. It was just drums, live drums, and the bass and the guitar melody. And then I went back in and I was like, nah, I gotta change this up. I gotta bring in like a different feeling into this song just to make it where it's like I'm tying it into the rest of the album, but it's also standing apart because the drums in All Along don't sound like the drums in the rest of the album. A lot of the drums in the rest of the album, I'm using the same drum sounds to keep that theme of like everything is cohesive, everything is falling into place one after the other. But with All Along, it's like it stands apart but still within. If that makes sense to you, the viewer.
Should make
I'm
sense.
talking to you. Don't feel weird. Don't look. Don't turn around. There's nobody behind you unless there is. But I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. And if there's two of you, then two of you, and however many more. But whatever. But that's basically finished up the conversation for the album.
That's
I mean,
the album. I do have some questions though.
What's up?
But yeah, that's the album. That's
Go listen to it.
the story,
It's
man.
out now on all streaming platforms. There's a link there, 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 here,
We'll put links
there.
everywhere, man.
everywhere. And also, hopefully by the time the album is out, because it's not out yet, but hopefully by the time you're watching this, all of the lyrics are up on Spotify
Yeah.
and Apple Music, so then you could read the lyrics
Yeah.
and learn the lyrics, so then you could come to the shows and then you could sing with me. And when I go, she free up my mind, I don't abuse, you could go, no, that's some shit I couldn't do.
And if you're from a different city, you'll fly out and all that. to
You know
come
what
to the
I'm
show,
saying?
right?
Like, I'm trying to create. It's a connection. It's a connection with yourself and myself.
Community.
I'm making the music, but you're listening to the music. So learn the lyrics, please.
All right, I have a question for you.
What's goody?
Um,
What goes through your mind?
how can I word this? What was the biggest lesson you've learned from the start of making the album to now? And that's anything, like life wise, relationship wise, family wise, music wise, anything. Just one lesson that was the biggest lesson you've learned since the start of making this album.
I'd have to say, and I'm trying to answer fast because I could sit here and ponder for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But everything takes time, you know. Don't beat yourself up if what you're doing doesn't meet the deadline that you set for yourself or the goals that you set for yourself are not coming fast enough. Everything takes time. Even something as simple as being emotionally okay to go back out into the world as a human being and like talk to new people and meet new people. Everything takes time. And while making the album, I beat myself up way too much, saying like, how am I still not dropping it yet? Granted, there were a lot of people around me that were annoyed at the fact that I wasn't dropping the music, but it's like, I beat myself up the most, I think. Because when it's just me alone at night in bed, chilling before I go to sleep, my mind starts racing and wandering. And I just start telling myself, yo, you got to do it. You got to drop the music. Don't take too much time on this song. You're doing too much. You're ruining it. And it's like, I had to tell myself, like, nah, the time that you're taking is necessary because you are trying to compile a bunch of emotions and feelings into a 3-minute track or a 2-minute track. So of course it's gonna take me, several months to write a verse, or of course it's gonna take me 2 years to get the album to a point where it's like I'm comfortable now. But everything takes time. Even though time doesn't truly exist, everything, you gotta sit and meditate on stuff. As I was saying before, there's music that I've made that I'm not dropping for at least the next 3-4 years. I'm waiting on it because it's like you gotta let things sit sometimes and just let time tell its tale.
Cool. I think that is some good advice. That is a good lesson.
That's
Everything
the
takes
biggest
time.
lesson. That's the biggest lesson.
Yeah. Everything takes time. And I already asked you your favorite song, and I guess your opinion hasn't changed. All of them are still your favorite song.
All of them are still my favorite song. It's like, imagine having a kid. Imagine having 4 kids, and it's like, which child is your favorite?
Yeah, you can't say that.
Asking the mother which child is her favorite. She birthed all of them, So it's like you can't ask me that question.
All right, I have another question then.
What's up?
So you have 2 features on the album.
Yes.
Why not more?
Because this album, this album is a very personal experience. It's a very personal story. So it's like, at a lot of points in times, there's a lot of songs where I was like, ooh, maybe I should get features on these songs. But then after I was like, when it came to finalizing everything, I was like, I could do that, but also these stories are stories that I'm telling from very particular moments in time, and I could get somebody else on this song that could match that, but they're not coming from that point in time.
Yeah.
They're coming from a separate point in time. So I didn't really want to break up the message that I was trying to give to the audience while doing it. And the 2 features that I got on the album, 2 people that I trust. There's more features behind the scenes in terms of beats, in terms of engineering, in terms of conversation. Why did I say it like that? You. Jeez, that was powerful. But it's like, in terms of like conversations that I had with people that led me to go and change something. But the 2 features that I got on the album were very specific because Sophie, we already went through this, like, absolutely amazing vocally and musically, but like just needed that. And then Nico, his voice is exactly what all along needed.
Yeah.
So that's why there's those 2 features. There will be more projects in the future with features that are not based on periods in time, but for this project.
What about solo projects?
What do you mean by that?
Solo. Like just
myself?
Projects with just yourself, yeah.
There are a lot of projects that like never got to see the light of day.
But I'm saying that, will you ever release a solo project?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
But the solo projects, hopefully by the time that time comes, the resources that I have to create the music will allow those solo projects to really do that shit that like I've been trying to do, and sometimes like I'm just not in the mood to do it. But
yeah. Okay.
This brain, this tank, bro.
No, I know.
It scares me. It really scares me. But yeah, that's
and that's why I try to remind you. I know.
Yeah, man.
All right, one last question.
Yeah.
Where can they listen to the album?
You can listen to the album on any of your desirable streaming platforms. Cool. We're up on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, Napster, apparently, Snapchat, Instagram,
Amazon Music,
Google Music,
all of that.
All of them. So I'm going to try and get it on, it's on SoundCloud, but I'm going to put it on SoundCloud for some of you, because some of you have been asking me. Some of you are just like, yo, like, I can't do the streaming platforms. I use SoundCloud.
You need to put it on SoundCloud.
I'm going to put it on SoundCloud. It's on YouTube, but I don't really focus on YouTube that much, which I should start doing. But
videos.
That's a conversation for Oh my god.
Spam in the comments if y'all need him to do some videos, bro, because
please.
His songs, they
deserve visuals.
Fuck, what's the word I'm looking for though? They would go along great with visuals. Yeah, with videos.
They deserve visuals.
Tell a whole different story.
But it's difficult because what I see when I hear this song, to bring that to life is difficult. But then again, once upon a time, before we linked up, I was thinking about this at home. I was like, damn.
Today?
Like, today I was thinking about this. I was like, damn, like 4 years ago, I never would have thought I would have been here. Yeah. Never. And it's like, even with the thing coming up on Tuesday, which, don't worry about that.
Chill.
But we planned that 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. We're here.
Yeah,
and it worked.
exactly. You can do anything. Bro.
How?
You can do anything.
You know, like how, Sway? Like just how? So it's a 2-in-1. Message to you, the viewer. Anything you want to do, just put your mind to it. Literally, I know everybody says this, it's cliche now, but literally, all you have to do is put your mind to it, and at no point say, "Oh, I should give up. It's not worth it." At no point say that. If you stay optimistic and you make it through those hard times and those times where like you really just want to give up, but you don't give up, you can do anything.
Yep.
Anything. Right here, 1 and 2, living proof.
Yep.
It is what it is. You get what you give.
Exactly.
Drake. And all platforms,
All platforms.
once again. But yeah,
Cool. That's 40%, man.
that's 40%
That's-
off Preval. A studio album by Trevor J, influenced by every music ever, with the loving help of all of my friends and all of the people that I love and keep around me. Ace on the track. Don't forget the name.
Don't forget Trevor J.
Who's that?
I get it. I get
I
it.
already forgot. But anyways, I love you guys.
Yeah, man.
Stay safe out here. The world is crazy. But hopefully the music can make it a little bit better.
It should.
And go check out 40%.
Go check
if
it
I
out.
haven't said it enough already.
This has been a conversation
It has
about
been a conversation.
40% alcohol per volume. Like he
a great
said,
conversation.
a great conversation
Thank you.
about, thank you, a studio album by Trevor J. First album,
First,
and it's a crazy album. So,
Many
like
more
we
to
said
come.
before.
many more to
Exactly.
come. Anyways, y'all stay safe out here in these streets. Toodles. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but don't do anything I would do. Ciao.
Take care.